Howdy, folks. My name is Matthew, aka EZBOT, and welcome to another live stream. Today we're going to have a look at the Polyend Play Plus, which is definitely a mouthful. And kind of a strange machine, and we're going to talk about that. Before we get into that, definitely want to acknowledge our sponsors for the stream today. DistroKid, thank you. We love you, DistroKid. We would love to have another sponsor if this company here, Lacryzelmints, I believe is how you say it, if they would be open to sponsoring this channel, I'd be really into that, because Lacryzelmints makes puree, which is this kind of staticky flavored water. I really like it. So fresh. So fresh. Okay, so Polyend Play Plus. Let's have a look at it. Here it is. This is the Polyend Play Plus. This is a very unique instrument. And full disclosure, I did help beta test the Polyend Play Plus. So I received one of these many moons ago. I haven't shared it with you on the channel at all because mostly I focus on Electron. But today I wanted to put it through its paces and kind of see what would happen if I ran it into my Octatrack and processed it through some improvisational tools, like an 8-bar looper, for instance. Because this can generate patterns pretty much seamlessly and constantly, you can just always keep generating stuff. I figured what would be better than a looper? A looper with this would just be an amazing tool. So I could generate a pattern, crossfade over to a loop of that pattern, generate a pattern while it's crossfaded over, and crossfade back over, and we have a new pattern. Basically, seamlessly, endlessly creating new music. And because we can lock the Polyend Play Plus to a scale, the music will always sound good. And honestly, the engine on the Play Plus does sound really good. But it's still a really strange device. It kind of took like, it's kind of got like some elements from the Torso T1. And then it's got some elements from the Deluge. And it's got some elements from, I guess those are the two that it has the most elements from. It has some elements from the Electron workflow, like holding down a step and turning a knob and being able to adjust it and being able to audition those steps by pushing this knob and going. So it has a number of like ideas from a bunch of different devices, but it has its own very, very unique workflow. And I know a lot of people have seen the Polyend Play, the original Polyend Play, and this one's really not that much different than that one, other than it has a faster CPU, which allowed them to do stereo samples and add some synth engines, which I've been messing with. And everything about the device is really fun, but there are some aspects of it that kind of feel a little polarizing, I suppose I could say. Some folks, get frustrated at some stuff like the lack of modulation. There's not really modulation in this device. There is modulation for the synth engines, but the modulation is what you do to the sequencer, and that's kind of the workflow with it. I'm still trying to figure out like what I want to do with the Polyend Play Plus. I mean, right now I just play with it, and I think that that's kind of like, that was their intention, was to have a box that you could just like play with and improv with anytime you want. And that so far is what it's been for me. I do have the OMX27 hooked up to the Play. So I have a Midi controller. I love this little Midi controller. The sample plays all the way through. That's something that I kind of wish there was just a simpler way to deal with the envelopes. I guess I have it at its max envelope fade out. I always get a little confused by the percentage thing. And that's because this is not your typical Groovebox. This is not meant to be looked at or used the way that you would use an Octatrack or a Digitact or an M8 or a Deluge or your computer. This is meant to generate patterns and then to continue to make iterations of those generative patterns. And I think that if you look at it in any other way than that, you're gonna find yourself falling on that negative scale of the polarized perspective. You know that, you know what I'm talking about. You're gonna feel like you don't vibe with it because it's not doing what you want it to do. But if you set your expectation to have it do what everything else already does, then you're gonna get let down by this machine because it is completely unique. And I wish it had a built-in looper, because I think if it had a built-in stereo looper, that this thing would just blow other people's gear out of the water, and just some more basic modulation stuff, like just a regular ADSR. But I've communicated with Polyend about this machine several times. I've given them my whole idea of like what I think would be good. I went deep on them. In fact, I prefaced part of my email when I communicated with them. I said, please read this email with a smile on your face and know that I'm coming from a very sweet place, because I only want people to enjoy your devices and that I think you guys are a great company. I do like Polyend quite a bit. So I gave them a number of tips that I think would be helpful for the device, and some of them have made it into the Polyend Play Plus. This was before it was released. I sent that email. And I think it's cool. So I like it. I think it's great. I am for what it does. Like I said, you got to choose what you do for it. Just so you know, this is not sponsored by Polyend Play. Polyend, I mean. I don't get a dime. There's no affiliate link or anything. This is just me doing a live stream on a Tuesday, like I like to do, hanging out with you folks. And today, I'm taking a look at the Play Plus. I do have a little bit of music that I wrote on it, and let me share it with you. And I'm gonna kind of try and perform it to the best of my ability with my limited ability with the Polyend Play Plus, because as you know, my abilities are in the Electron realm. That's where I live. That and like some live coding stuff. That's the stuff I like to do. So this is different from me, but I still like to try everything. You know, I'm always looking for something new. So let's hear some of this music, all right? Let me know if the levels are any good, all that kind of stuff. Please tell me if things sound good or sound bad, or if you hear weird noises. I want to fix that stuff. I am totally under the weather today. I'm not gonna lie. I'm homesick right now. I mean, I'd be home right now doing this anyway, but I'm at my home, and I'm not feeling great. So bear with me, and let's kick some ass on the Polyend Play Plus, shall we? Let's hear some music. I'm actually start on pattern 2 and hit play here and get out of here. In our little performance mode, which is cool, we can always use the freeze, the beat repeat. The beat repeat is a master beat repeat, which I like and I appreciate that we always have access to it. I kind of wish there was like a shortcut button where I just went like pop, or like a long press shift or something, and it just highlighted all the tracks so I could immediately start manipulating everything at the same time, as opposed to this whole perspective, plus then hitting shift to undo it. I don't know. Maybe if there's like keys that, like key tricks that I haven't learned yet, and you know them, please share them with the chat. Tell me. I would love to know. But besides that, let's just get back to it. Let me play with the music a little bit. I think it sounds really good. The quality, the synth engines sound pretty good. Now I'm over in a new pattern. This is me not using the Octatrack at all, and we're gonna use this. Like, don't think we're not gonna use this. We're definitely gonna use them both. Okay, this is not the Polyend Play Plus has sound profiles. We're gonna talk about the stuff that I like. This is a channel about stuff I like. Let's get real. This is definitely not a channel about stuff I don't like, because I pretty much only use Electron here. So I'm going to talk about the things that I like about it. Every once in a while, we'll come across something that I think I don't like, and we will chat about it for a second. For the most part, let's focus on the cool stuff here. One of the things I discovered that I did like on here is in the Master Effects section. I do like that I can craft the Master Effects. You know, I like to make effects. I enjoy this process. I like crafting a sound. And I like that it lets you do that. It has custom parameters, custom saturation. But what's really interesting is this parameter right here. And hopefully you can see it all right. It says sound, if you can't see it that well. And this is a sound profile for the Polyend Play. Now, by default, it doesn't start you on clean mix. I switched it over. Let's take a listen to flat, which is the, obviously un-EQ'd mix on the Polyend Play. And let's listen to the music I just played on the flat EQ. And then switch over to clean mix. I found that I liked clean mix better. So here's flat. Okay, and we're gonna switch over to clean. Do you hear that? Flat. Clean mix. Clean mix sounds good. I was happily surprised by the mix settings that they put into the Polyend Play. I was like, this is actually a really great sounding sampler. And now that it's got stereo or sample player, don't get me wrong, I wish it was a sampler. I do. I wish it was a sampler. That would be way cooler than it is, but it is pretty cool regardless. But I do prefer if sample players can also sample. I mean, can you imagine how cool that would be? Maybe one day, maybe Polyend Play plus plus. Plus, 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 plus. I don't know. I can't even say it fast enough to be funny. Let me say what's up to the chat real quick, and we'll dive back in there. Dive back into it. What's up, chat? Oh, why is my chat window saying it doesn't like anything? That sucks. I think I can fix that. Or we don't need to have it. It's not the end of the world. How are y'all doing? No, you cannot sample on the Polyend Play Plus. Hello, London. What's up, Kinga? What's up, Blakes? Neely, or Navi. Not sure how to say your name, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that. What is that cool sticker on the Octatrack? Well, we'll definitely have a chance to talk about that. That's my Ultimate Effects template overlay sticker. Ta-da! Goes on your Octatrack. It's pretty cool. It's pretty darn cool. If you're a part of the Patreon, you can download this and make prints of it yourself. It was made by Blake, who's in the chat. Blake's in the chat there. Say thank you to him. He designed the graphic here. But it is a graphic of my template for the Octatrack. This is the Ultimate Effects template. I have the Techno Performance Mixer template coming. Hopefully by the end of the week. And if you're a patron, you can download the files for free, or well, I mean you're on Patreon, so you're paying something, but you get the files as part of a reward on Patreon. You can print them, and there's a die line cutout so that you can cut around the screws if you want and just hole punch them, or you can take the screws out of your Octatrack, put it on there, and then put the screws through it. That's what I recommend you do. It's a 2mm hex screw. Anyway, Octatrack be damned. We're not as interested in this thing today. Today, we're over here. We're using the OMX27. Polyend Play, but still, check out the sticker. It's dope. They're for sale at modbang.com. Okay, so I was really digging the sound profiles, and I did play with a couple of. Do you want to hear a couple more sound profiles? Here's Scooby-Doo. I don't know what that means. Boombox. Weird EQ settings. Outside. No, thank you. Radio call. These seem like effects to me instead of mixes. Bass with the mid push, that's a mix. Wide. I wonder how they did the wide mix. Sounds good. Gradual. The food boost. And then you have a custom sound. Look at this, there it is. You can add space to it, a bass boost, and then you have 5-band EQ. Cool. That's cool. I don't see that in other Grooveboxes. Ever. I don't know of any other groove. There is no other Groovebox that gives you sound profiles and a 5-band EQ built into the master. They don't exist right now. So, Polyend Play gets a point. I wish we had a little point system. I was like, ding, Polyend Play gets a point. And it like popped up on the screen or something. And then when we're like, But it doesn't have modulation, like, Polyend play loses a point. That would also be pretty, I don't know, that could be mean. I don't want to be mean. I like being nice. You know what I mean? What's up, Alchemy? Alchemy Neuro, how's it going, dude? Hope you're well. Fortunate from with it. It can't sample, no, it cannot. I guess I already answered that. Go get the sticker. That's right, Blakes. Good evening, lads. Good evening to you. All right, let's get back into it. So I wanted to talk about this being a generative sequencer. I made this music on the Polyend Play from scratch, using the sounds that came with the Polyend Play, messing with some of its fill conditions. Let's start from scratch, and then let's try and do something with the Octatrack and this using the 8-bar looper from the Techno performance template to try and do some generative looping exercises to see, can we play shows with the Polyend Play Plus in a way that we feel we're having a good time, in a way that's exciting for an audience, in a way that is more unique and more exciting than other music boxes. Is it capable? Is it more capable? Is it less capable? Does it suck? I don't know yet. I haven't put it to the test, and that's what we're gonna do together. So we don't have to delete this project. It's already got a lot of sounds loaded into it, and honestly, loading sounds on the Polyend Play takes a long time. There's a reason for that. It takes a long time to load sounds in the Polyend Play. For one, now the sounds are stereo, so they're twice the size as they were before, even though the computer inside of it is much faster. But two, it loads like 250 sounds at a time. When you boot up the project for your Digitact, it strictly loads monophonic samples and a maximum of 128 of them. That's a very fast boot up on the Digitact, right? Real quick. And in my projects, you still see the little dial twisting saying, I'm loading, I'm booting, in my projects that are like pretty full. You know, it's not ready to go yet. Some of the sounds aren't there yet. Same thing. This loads way more files and larger files than the Digitact does. Or the, well, not the M8. The M8 actually has the same file size. M8's just a little magic thing. We don't talk about its alchemy magic that's been done with that machine. We don't want to be cursed. It'll curse us. But yeah, it loads a ton of samples, right? And that's why it takes a long time. And also it's doing this like category organization stuff for its generative beat making, which you can also edit. So everything on here is getting all this customizable editing stuff. That seems to be what they're focusing on with the Play Plus. I would like them to focus more on quality of life improvements, just like UI stuff. Like I just want things to make more sense to me. But I don't think they're ever going to, because this device doesn't work the way my brain works with these other machines. The reason they use percentages is because it's meant to affect a whole group by a percentage, not meant to apply an envelope to a group. That's not how it works. It's a completely different workflow. And it's very interesting. It's very unique, and I do like the results because I made this so fast. And that is the synth engines. There's a couple of them. And they sound good. The synth engines sound good. Am I wrong? Do the synth engines not sound? They sound good. Could you make generative music on this, like ambient music? The answer is yes. If you were an ambient artist with the reverb and delay that this thing has on it, and the sound profiles and the generative functions with scaling, especially that it can play stereo samples, you're in luck, my friends. This is probably gonna beat your modular system. For one, you'll spend $1 million on your modular system and lose your mind setting up that patch every time you play. But this can just make a new song that actually works like instantly. All right, maybe I'm being a little too harsh on the modular system idea, but I just mean like it's gonna be easier, it's gonna be faster, it's gonna sit in your backpack. Those are the conveniences. So I think it's really great at ambient, and I think it's really great at like drum and bass, and I think it's really great at drums. As far as playing melodic samples go, I am not a big fan of it playing melodic samples, despite the playback sounding really good. The thing I struggle with is controlling the samples. Like, I want more control. I know you have to use the start length, the start and the end time a lot, and then you're playing with the sample attack and decay a lot to control the length of the samples, but it gets confusing. it does get confusing. Oh, another bonus, I know we're just going to be all over the place because this is just a talking YouTube channel at this point, is that it is a poly synth. The synth engines have 8 voices, and you can spread the voices across the 4 engines. And then this becomes, like, it'll play back polyphonically. Let's see. Check that out. A little organ. It's only letting me play the right chords or sounds because I have it set on a scale, and the scale actually interprets the incoming Midi as well. Oxy 1 all the way, says Alchemy Neuro. Let's hang on a second. Hang on. I wish that my chat was, let me see if I can fix the chat thing. I like it when the chat can be seen on the channel so that people can see me looking at the chat. I think it looks cool, but also it helps me see the chat because it's kind of buried behind this plant. And I gotta have a plant. Synthesizers, Grooveboxes actually don't function without plants surrounding them. That's why they're in everybody's videos. They'll just break. They go out of key. They just start having errors, memory leaks, MIDI loop feedbacks, USB whine. All that stuff is mitigated with healthy plant life surrounding your synthesizers. Trust me, it's on Wikipedia. Let's see. Okay. Is it fixed now? No. Dumb. Pop out. Copy. Pop back in. We're almost done. Look at me doing stuff. You ever seen somebody do stuff like this? I'm doing stuff live. Wait a second. Wait a second. Properties. Pasty paste. Pasty cakes. Okay. Yeah, what's up, chat? Welcome back to the channel. I'm a freaking wizard. Just like the Polyend play. And it's generative sequencing insanity. Okay, wait a second. The reason why I wanted to switch over to this chat perspective was to talk to Alchemy Neuro for a second. Because I'm no hater of the Oxy 1. This light's a little bright. I'm no hater of the Oxy 1, but I owned one, used it enough that I was using beta firmwares and stuff, and I did end up returning it. And it's definitely an amazing device, and I'm seeing it everywhere, and it comes up on this channel all the time. Will I ever buy one again? I don't think so. I don't think I'll ever pick one up again. I don't know what it was about the workflow on it, and the using the knobs covering the screen drove me insane. I don't know, whatever. There was something about when I used the knobs and it in my hand covered the screen, I couldn't see what I was doing, that I got so mad. I don't get that mad that easily, but I got really mad about that, and I just couldn't get over it. I was just rude. I was rude to it in my head, and ended up selling the unit. It was really cool. It was really cool. Don't get me wrong. It was really cool. But I ended up not using it very much because of well, for one, it's like it does the stuff that my Electron sequencers mostly do what it does already. But if you're really into modular and you just want a battery powered sequencer, you can powerhouse, you can take around your entire studio. There's probably nothing better in that regard, other than maybe an M8. So yeah, I didn't need to share all that information. It was really unimportant. But let's get back to the Polyend Play Plus. All right, let's go to a new pattern. Actually, I need to test something. So I was trying to figure out how do I delete patterns. I know if you long press, it copies, right? It copies, and now I long pressed on it and it copied it. So I can go over here and go, and that should be the pattern. No. So I copy and then place. No. Okay. I guess I go shift, paste. No. Copy pattern, hold, paste. No. So I'm still confused why my pattern copy and paste. What am I doing wrong? Sorry, the play versus the Oxy. What is the deal with the MIDI keyboard? Seinfeld is asking. Seinfeld is asking. This is the OMX27. It's a MIDI keyboard. It's actually like, and it has some like cool built-in not proprietary, but like this, I don't know why I was searching for that word, but it's got some built-in macros that just instant assign to the M8. So it's kind of like the M8's keyboard, the unofficial M8 keyboard. If you're into the Dirty Wave M8, this is what you want to use. I actually want to buy a second one. I want to have these all over my studio. When I find something that works really well, I just want them everywhere. Like, this thing's so skinny. You can even, there's even a toggle to change the MIDI out from TRS-A to TRS-B. What? This guy gets it, right? The person who makes this is definitely getting laid because they put that toggle on their keyboard. That's incredible. You know what I use to mitigate that incredibly annoying experience? This little RetroKits thing gives you two different ports. One's TRS-A and one's TRS-B, and you just use an aux cable. They're so expensive. It's like $40 for two of them. It's ridiculous. But he's got it built into his unit. What a badass. So look up OMX27 by I forget the company. But just look up OMX27, you'll find it. OMX27 keyboard. You can get it as a kit or you can buy it from the developer. Right now, it's hooked up to the Polyend Play, and we're getting so distracted. I still don't understand how to copy and paste patterns. I went over here, and I want to copy the pattern. Function copy. I'm going to go over here, and I want to paste. Oh, wait, no, I just go over here, and I go copy. Pattern 1 copied. Okay. Copy to pattern 3. Okay. 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 We got it. We got it figured out. All right, I'm not an absolute noob. So let's just go to a new pattern. Got some fresh stuff going on. So here's what the Polyend Play does. It generates sequences. You can highlight a segment and say, all right, make me a drum beat. We all know this stuff, so this doesn't matter. What I was thinking would be really cool. Why is that not playing any sound, though? What happened? Does this one? But this one does not. Oh. Because we're silly. We're on the... There we go. Okay. All right, you guys ready? Let's do some improv techno. Let's see if this thing can do improv techno. I think that now that we have the Play Plus synth engines, that this machine... Pardon me, I don't know why. I'm sick, and I don't want to be sick, and it just is not getting better. LaCroix will fix me. Plants will fix the synth. All right, this is still playing a synth engine, so this is cool. Okay. Tell me that doesn't sound good. It sounds good, right? The samples sound good, the engine sounds good, the EQ sounds good, the effects on it, the reverb and delay are lush. The reverb's really good. The reverb rivals the Electron reverb and then actually goes about a couple steps further, I'd say. It's better than the Electron reverb because it's got more parameters, and honestly, it's freaking huge. But it's in this strange machine, so... This is, I mean, it's still really cool. It's still really cool. All right, so I immediately was able to generate a techno pattern. We're gonna zoom the camera out. We're just gonna jump straight into like, can we do, or should we look at the synth preset thing? Should we make a synth sound first? Let's go over here really quick. All right, sample. We're using the VAP engine. Oh, this light's is wigging. Relaxed light. Okay. I believe this goes, oh yeah, up an octave, down an octave. So let's just hear this, well, a patch. What happened to our patch? Sure. Does that seem a little quiet? Just a quiet patch? All right, let's find a different one then. Okay. What? Got it boosted pretty loud. I've noticed that some of the synth engines, they do seem a little quiet. Why is that? Is there fizz? I don't know what fizz is. I guess that's something they named a macro device. Can I edit? I don't want to keep bringing the master volume up. I don't like that idea. Let me see. Let's go to this back here. We're in VAP. Gain. That's better. I guess let's try and init a patch. This is their newest firmware, by the way. Oscillator mix. I don't know, like... It's a mix between two oscillators. Okay. What is shape, though? Sounds like it's going from saw to square. That definitely sounds very square. Pulse width. Not hearing any difference there. It only detunes in semitones. Oh, there's the fine tune. Okay. Oh, a detune. Let's leave that there. Oh, oscillator sync. Here we go. We don't need the reset. Let's play with the tune now. So it does sync oscillator 1 to oscillator 2. That's good to know. Let's go down a few octaves. Or 1 octave, I guess. Into the filter. How much? 5.1%. This is the part that's so weird. This is why this is the weirdest Groovebox ever. I don't ever look at an envelope amount and look at 5.1%. What? What does that mean? 5.1% of its max value? Why not just use a number? Note tracking? Yeah, I want note tracking on. Come on now. Resonance is at 50% by default? Who starts at 50%? Not me. Where's the overdrive? Give me more envelope attack here. Okay, yeah, that won't do anything. Okay, it's our filter envelope that's messing with us. Right? Oh, come on now. That's sick. That's sick. I'm impressed. All right, straight up. Hands down. Okay, nobody hate on me, okay? Nobody hate on me for saying this, but the synth engine in here is pretty decent. It's pretty decent so far, and the reverb and the delay is very good, especially that reverb. That reverb sounds. Oh, that reverb is so good. That's built into the Play Plus. Tell me the synth engine and the reverb is not better than the Deluge's, even with the community firmware. Even though I think it's amazing. I love the Deluge. I do. I love the Deluge. You know, I swear on the Crizzlements. I swear on Puree that I love the Deluge. But just to be objective, this is an objectively better synthesizer sound and an objectively better reverb and delay. Okay, I just want to put that out there. Not that you should pick one or the other, because their devices are so much different. I think the Deluge is probably way more accessible to most people. Like, they're just like, I get it. I want to make music with that. You know, the Polyend Play Plus is definitely very unique. You have to be in the mood for this kind of machine. There's no doubt. But this is a better sounding synth engine. This is awesome. All right, let's get back. Where were we? We're at the filter cutoff. Note tracking. We're trying to find, is it envelope 2? Damn it. We're almost done making our first patch. Because there isn't that much more to it. I can't even play a wrong note. I'm just kind of being random there. I do kind of like that. What is this? What? Wait, what envelope is going to my filter? envelope 1. Oh, there's an amp envelope and a filter envelope. I'm so stupid. Forgive me. Heal me, LaCroix. Let's just record something really quick. Track length. Okay. Get me out of the thing. Stop. Get me back here. Okay. Track length. 64 steps. Tempo. Let's make it half speed. Let's use 8 bars. Okay. Oh, did I miss it? Fuck. We're just like deleting that. Let's see something. I mean, we could live record it in, and I'm totally failing at that right now. Let's see. Live record. Oh, something I don't know is, can I hold this down and then plug in some notes? You cannot. You cannot hold it down and plug in notes. That would be really cool if you could. Polyend. Put that in your firmware. Yeah, it's only detecting one of the notes coming from the MIDI keyboard. That's okay. Whatever. Can't have everything. Ugh. Oh my goodness. You can't I can't record polyphonically at all. I didn't know that. Okay, hold on. Can we do it if we're in this view? Oh, there's no live record in this view. Wait, if I do live record, if I leave this view and then go in here, is live record gone? I don't understand why I can't do that. Wait, you can? They have to activate the other notes on the track. Only one note per track. Thank you. Okay. Doot, 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 doot. We'll do like 5 notes then. Oh, cool. Okay. Stop it. Okay. All right, here we go. Program 8192. That seems like a bug. Okay. I don't know. Definitely having feelings. Having all sorts of feelings right now. Look, I tuned out for getting to know the device and opened other tabs, but this is music is a vibe no matter what the gear. Oh, thanks. That's nice. Imagine AI voice commands like stop, go, hack, maybe in 5 to 10 years. Oh, I think so. I think so. Yeah, and DSI are lovely sound. Oh, you guys are having a conversation. You're having a conversation without me. I don't even know what you're talking about. Okay. Let's move to another pattern. That was cool. I think we're at the wrong tempo. Right now, this is syncing the Octatrack, so I'm going to use some of those features. Like, I'm going to use some synced loops. I want to see how well this could do techno. Here's the thing. I think that this thing is going to have a great time doing drum beats for techno. I think it's going to have a really hard time designing a randomized synth lead for a techno performance. I think you could use the Euclidean. We could try that. I don't think if you use any of the melodic stuff, this doesn't lend itself to atonal type music. And I haven't found many patches that are just noisy patches. And I think you need to have a really noisy patch for techno. And when it comes to improv devices, I think techno is the really fun way to use an improv device. EZBOT, what? Scroll for how to copy paste easier? Wow, you know a lot about the Polyend Play Plus, Alchemy. Should have you on a live stream. Let's see. All right, let's get out of this menu. All right, let's do that. We're going to make our beat, of course. I guess what we could do is let's start by muting everything but our kick drum and make a techno beat. I don't care what kind of techno beat. But we only be able to hear the kick. What's our tempo? 151. There we go. keep those muted. Let's go over here, get some sort of something. I think the wavetable synthesizer is probably gonna be where it's at. Program 0, that I don't think that's right. I think it's having some bugs or something. Wait, I want to hear I want this to be on that. Get out of here. Sure. All right, let's use that patch and do a Euclidean fill with it. That's too many. Okay. I guess we have variations we could use. Whoops. Damn it. Okay, cool. Let's do this. Go to variation 2 here. This is like, this part's a little confusing. Get out of here. What is going on here? What are these? Live record. Whoops, that's what's going on. All right, let's record a loop. And recording. After this records a loop, what we'll do is we'll make a new pattern and we'll transition to the recording and then transition over and see how this would work in an improv setup. We're now in the recorded loop. So we won't be able to hear any of this stuff. Variation 1. Okay. Let's go to variation 2. Wait, variation 2 with a kick. And let's fill it up with a bunch of kicks. Fill. Here we go. I think it's confusing. I think it's definitely confusing. It was confusing for me because I'm not very good at it, but because I don't know it very well, but I do feel like the sounds are good. And I think it's a really good sounding instrument. And I think if you got really good at it and you were very aware of what you're doing, because you don't know what's happening on the grid. It's kind of confusing and there's a lot of button presses. So I think it's definitely requires you to like really, really learn this machine, which is what you should do on any of the machines that you buy for sure. But I think that there was this expectation that when you pick up the Polyend Play Plus, because it's like this intuitive beat making machine, that you were just going to understand making a beat. Like it was just going to make a beat for you and it was going to be like your beat. Which is what we just did. And we did a live improv. We recorded an 8-bar loop, transitioned to the 8-bar loop, transitioned back over. We did it all live. I think that with the MIDI sequencer output on this, instead of using the internal synth engines, even though the internal synth engines are fine, but I think to have something a little bit more hands-on with the synth engines, this will do just fine for writing music anyway, and you could get good at it. But I think this controlling something like a 303 or just any sort of monophonic bassline synth outside of this device to give you some hands-on control where the synth just kind of stays the same and you manipulate it. You're over here just generating new triggers for that, kind of like you would with an Oxy 1. And this just running all of your drum beats and doing some master effects, even though there's no incoming audio processing, which sucks. But you could run it through the Octatrack. I think that's where this would shine. We don't have an external synth for us to do that demonstration. I did have a DB01 over here, but I got mad at it. I got mad at it because I'm in love with the ladder filter, and I love the Polyvox filter on the DB01, but I just love ladder filters even more. And speaking of which, Avalon Bassline supposed to ship today, says abstractinstruments.com. No, yesterday. I didn't get a shipping notification, but they're supposed to ship yesterday for the newest batch that's come out. I haven't seen anything about it, but I would sure like that. Yeah, let me check in what the chat's going on. Can anyone confirm that if you change the synth voice, it'll change all the tracks using that voice? That is, yes, it will. You get one synth per, you get one voice on a synthesizer. Basically how it works, that doesn't make sense. Basically how it works is you load a patch and that patch is assigned to a synthesizer. You have 3 synthesizers you can use. Think of them as analog synthesizers, like they're a physical abstract outside of your device, even though they're living inside the device. When you change to another patch, you change synthesizer 1 to a new patch. It doesn't it's not running like 10,000 patches at once. Polyend Play's computer would explode. That's something your computer can do. That's not something this can do. And like, honestly, that's not something that any box can do that I know of other than your laptop. Even the Electron boxes, even though they're changing patches and doing that, they're all playing the FM engine on the Digatone. They're all playing the analog engines on the Syntac. They're all playing the analog engines on the A4. It's not something that's very easily done without using a ton of CPU. That's a fact. So that's just not going to happen that way. But what you can do is use 3 different synth engines at a time and change what the sounds are like. And I think you might be able to lock the patches in different positions using the same engine, maybe. But yeah, you can p-lock things, but you can't p-lock the synth engine type, from what I understand. You can p-lock the 3 different kinds of engines, but not the type of engine in a synth. Like, you can't be switching around the engines because they have to load and save, from what I understand. Yeah. Alchemy's here to confirm that. Thanks, Alchemy. Every time, I mean, I'm glad you're here. If you don't know Alchemy Neuro's stuff, I know you from Bitwig, because I'm a Bitwig instructor. I don't know if you're a Bitwig instructor, but I know you from Bitwig on your channel, right? That's how I found you. Cool jams, Mr. Bot. Thanks, Michael. Speaking of cool jams, let me see something. Studio mode. If we go into Spotlight Image, hey, not that one. Let me see. Image. Do I have a copy of it? Of the poster from today's show. Today, there is a Modbang event today, and I want to pull it up and show you because it's so cool. Oh my God, just do the thing. You know what I mean? Computers, they're just so annoying sometimes. All right. Let's get the desktop. There's so much garbage on my desktop. Yo. What's up? Modbang is tonight. This is the Christmas special. Live hardware electronic music. Hey, look, I'm over here. Yellow. Hello. Yeah, it's covering my whole face. That's fine. I guess we could move it. Yoink. I don't know what to do with it. Yeah, Modbang. It says Octatrack Mark III, because why not, you know? That makes sense. Rank. Here we go. Hey, now you can kind of see me. Modbang, live hardware electronic music here in Seattle. You typically hosted by me. We'll be hosted by another bot of sorts, YBot, aka Toby, will be hosting Modbang tonight because I'm homesick. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it out to the event myself. I always host them and often play them, and I'm not playing this one, but I don't want to get anyone sick, and I'm definitely, something's up with me. So come on down to the event. We got Mikey 303 is closing it out. Mikey 303 is playing an entirely Game Boy set. The whole thing's Game Boy. That's going to be really cool. So come and check that out. But starting off, we have Chris Barth. He's a musician and Eurorack developer. You may know Raya Media. Raymond's Recording just did a cool video on some of his modules a couple weeks ago. Really great music that he made using his modules. That's CM Barth. Check him out. Wet Paint, my coworker at Patchworks, an excellent techno house music producer using an M8 and an Octatrack for his live show. It's going to be killer. We have DJ Weak Acid and or Nick Bigelow, who is the director at Patchworks. He's the manager of Patchworks in Seattle, the synth shop. Come down and check him out. He knows his stuff really well. He'll be performing at probably an entirely modular, like jungle drum and bass event. I mean, his stuff is wild. And then of course at the end we have Mikey 303 closing us out. So come on down to the 4Bs tonight at 7 o'clock. It's a free show. Modbang events are the best. No computers allowed. That's the rule, and I think that's cool. That's the rule, and I think it's cool. Am I wrong to think that's cool? I do think it's cool. I like music without computers. I like computer music too, sure. But I think it's even cooler when there's not a computer. Back at it. All right, so what did we learn? We learned that you definitely can do some improv stuff on here. Let's do it again. Let's try it again. Go to another pattern. This pattern layout thing is its own thing. But I mean, you get a lot of patterns and then you have variations within the pattern. So there's just a lot. I think like if the UI was a little bit less confusing, this would be an even more popular device considering how easily you can generate music on it, especially if you use your own samples and not the stuff that's comes with the unit. The stuff that comes with the unit is really good, but I think if you had your own sounds that you maybe had sampled from your systems in your studio or downloaded some packs that really resonate with you and you loaded them in there, then it would feel really good. I think what I would like to fill this up with would be like little industrial pops and clicks, like little dings and tings, little metallic type sounds, and then just generate a bunch of weird patterns with delays and reverbs on those and use it as this like, I don't know, industrial techno device. I'm still getting used to the synth engines and like how to use them. I'm not great at it yet. There's no doubt. So here we are at a new pattern. Of course, we're going to keep using the generative fill function. But what I want, my goal is that what I really want to do is do generative fill, play a pattern, record a pattern, transition over with the Octatrack to that pattern, use the Octatrack's effects because the Octatrack's effects are fun because I built them myself. The effects in here are good. The effects in here are good. Like, I like what they do, but the truth of the matter is I have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm just kind of like, bloop, you know, I just kind of randomly touch stuff. I'm like starting to learn a few spots that I like, and like with some of the effects, like the filters are really easy to do. Like this is just, that's the easiest one. I kind of wish that when I let go, it didn't hold on to the pad. Like I want it to like not do that. But it's okay. But I just don't know what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing here, especially since I have this nice sticker overlay telling me what effects are on what part in the Octatrack. Okay, let's go back over to it. Phil, let's, are we still in the MIDI section? Yeah, we are. Okay. Let's fill another, let's do like a drum and bass one. Let's see what happens here. Select steps on one track. Select steps on one track. Oh, because it's a hi-hat pattern. Got it. Okay. We want a beat. All right, drum and bass. Fill. Randomize. I like space. Where's that one? Chance? Definitely not that. Texture. That's a good one. Save that. All right, now it's a little bit more alive. I want to do the space one. Where's that? Space. That's it. get another sound of some sort in here. We'll do a hi-hat pattern again. No. That's kind of cool right there. Wait, what? Get out of here. You know what I do like we're still working in only 16 steps is, let's just like double the length, is that we could copy, oh no, get out of here. Let's go back over to this. We can copy all of this by holding shift and selecting all of that and going copy, right? And then we can go to these variations and then press here and go paste. Nice. So we just pasted that side over here, but now we can go in here and like select a little segment and then do another fill, another beat fill. Let's get a recording. Oops. Now, if I go, what I don't know is that if I go into this view, this track view, can I do gate length? No. That's something I want. Okay. What do you do? All right, we recorded a loop. We transitioned to a new loop on the Octatrack. We can completely change the melody. But also change the engine. We can undo it. And go back to where we were. I think that's pretty great. We have an undo on the Polyend Play Plus. That's pretty sick. Let's record that. Oh, that's pretty sick. Yes, undo was on the original too. I'm just pointing out that it's cool in general. Oops. Like we're recording a 16-bar loop at this point. What is our... Sure. Can't say I'm a big fan of that melody, because I'm not. See if we change the synth engine. It actually sounds a lot like a patch that I like to use on my Prophet 5 that I love dearly. Let's go ahead and just delete that. Gotta make these pages longer. Actually, I do want to know something. I want to know something. I think we all want to know this. If I highlight all these tracks and then I highlight, can it even be done? No, wait a second. Highlight these tracks. No, you can't do it. There's no way. My hands can't even do it. I was gonna say, like, could I press 4 notes on here, hold 4 notes on here, and have them transfer over? But it needs to be done in live recording. So far, I'm having a lot of fun playing with the synth engines, because it's just nice to have this keyboard and the synth built into here working pretty well together. I do like that. This is like it's a strange world for me still, because I still don't know exactly what I would do with it, because I really still want control over amplitude, envelopes, like just in the way that I'm familiar with. Let's put it that way. That's the part that I'm still struggling with, is that it still feels like an alien instrument to me. And even though, like, I get it, I get what it's doing, it still feels alien to me, because some of the stuff that I just naturally am going to, they're just not there. Not in a bad way, just in a different way. It's just that different. It's kind of like what I think happens to people when they try the Octatrack for the first time. They're like, dude, how do I use this thing? And I'm like, I know, it's weird. Nothing else works like it does. You have to learn its specific architecture. And I think that this is a similar experience. You really have to learn this thing's architecture for it to just gel with you really quickly. But I think, okay, hot take. So we sell Polyend plays at the synth shop that I work at, and I work the showroom floor a couple days a week at the synth store. So I go around and I try and sell people synthesizers. Really what I try and do is just show people stuff that I think they would like based on some really general data that they give me. I'm new. I want to make drums, I want to make full songs, or I want to make weird bleepy bloopy sounds, or I'm really interested in modular. All that kind of data is what I use to try and drive people towards different products that are available in our very large synthesizer store, right, at Patchworks. And so I'll try and figure out what I think is best for what musician. I bring people over to the Electron boxes, not the first thing I bring them over to, based on what they're saying. Of course, budget has a lot to do with that. I'll bring it over to them. I can demonstrate that stuff really well, so that's easier for me to show because I know those boxes so well. But I also bring people over to the Polyend stuff pretty often. The prices are below Electron, and they're very powerful devices. I do show off the Polyend play, and it does mesmerize people pretty immediately. It really does, especially people who are new to making electronic music, or just new to making music in general, or just don't want to make music in their DAW and they don't have the time of the day. Maybe they have kids, full-time job, and they're like, you know, they want the catharsis of making music, but they don't want to put in the, I don't even know what to say. They'll put the time in, but it's like, they want something to help them. Let's put it that way. The Polyend Play is that device. The Polyend Play is your homie, right? That's like hanging out on the sidelines, cheering you on, saying like, don't worry, I'll fill up the rest of the spots for you if you're feeling tired. You know, don't worry, I'll adjust the filter cutoff randomly on all the positions. I'll give those hi-hats space. That's what the Polyend Play Plus does. I think it's kind of like, it's your pal to help you generate some music. Now, when I'm writing music, like on my Electron gear, like, I don't know. We could a brief comparison. My head. What is this thing? Wrapped around. It's like a baby's umbilical cord. Like making tunes on this thing, this giant mothership that I have. Is a completely different experience. But of course, we're talking like, you know, 1500, 900, 900, 1300, 900, plus the TB03 to achieve all these sounds. Over here, well, just looking at the Polyend Play, to have a synthesizer and drum machines and performance effects, we're looking at a couple $100. Not a couple hundred, $800, I guess, for the Play Plus. And I think that that's pretty legit. And it does some really unique stuff. I'm still trying to find out, like, what would I do with it? And I think that still think that it would pair really well with another synthesizer. I think that is the number one thing. I think you need to bring another synth in and use the MIDI tracks to control another synthesizer. Still use the internal synth engines. They sound good, but I would use them as an auxiliary piece and use the drum program stuff, the drum generation stuff, because it just works. Like, we don't need to tweak drums that much. We'll tweak the patterns, but that part's really easy on here. That's the easy part. It's the melodic stuff on the Play Plus that is hard. That's the confusing stuff. I mean, we can always go into what happened to our music. Oh, I did that. Let's go to another pattern. So I guess we could go in here. Let's go over to, we're in the synth engines. That patch sounds really good. This synth engine sounds good. It's like substantially good. So if we go into... Wait a second. So if I go like this... Okay, that's not how that works. Get out of here. If I go like this and do it, do I get 4? I do! Okay, that's sick. How do I know what octave I'm at? Whoa. That's cool. Oh, that's not how that's gonna work. Of course not. I do kind of wish that when I hit notes in the keyboard roll like this, that it would audition the note that I hit on here when I put it down. Like, I want to hear it when I put the note down. Is there a button I can do? Is there some sort of note preview thing? That sucks. I know I can put notes down, push down on this and hit the note. That's not good enough for me. definitely need like a bass sound. Let's see. Damn it. Plucked Vangelis. Ooh, that's really nice. Okay. I think we need to update that synth engine though. Gain. Wow, I'm impressed. Ron chatting it up. What's up, Ron Cavagnaro? The Deluge Master. That's what I always think of you when I look at your YouTube channel. Been working on that Deluge for a long time. Ron likes the colored buttons. I also like the colored buttons. I think we're just like, especially I'm turning 40 in April, and I think like I'm just from an era. I grew up on X-Files and watching Tron, the original Tron, and just like I'm obsessed with lights and buttons and knobs just from that generation of like that was what was so exciting, pre-internet world. And I think that these devices are still very enchanting. I am very easily enchanted by the light up grid. Another thing Polyend did really well that they discontinued, which I wish they hadn't, because it was probably one of my favorite things they ever made, was the Polyend Seek. That big giant Eurorack or MIDI sequencer, just MIDI sequencer, was like the precursor to all of these things. I wish they had kept that thing around. That thing was beautiful. I think that one of the things that Teenage Engineering gets right, and they only get a few things right. Let's be real, because I'm not a KO2 person. That's not a device for me. To me, I'm just like, that's just another thing. Well, I'm not gonna say anything bad about it. It does look really pretty, but it's not something that I would end up using. It's just another thing I would buy. I like resent its beauty. I resent how beautiful Teenage Engineering gear is because you want it, you want to buy it, you want to play with it, and then you play with it, and you're like, what am I doing? What am I gonna do with this other than toy with it? I'm gonna toy with it a little bit and then put it away. And like, that's how I feel about like all their stuff, except for the OP1 Field, which like is more of a workhorse for somebody who's like working at a synth shop and just needs like grab a synth that's got batteries, bring it over here, process, run it through this effects pedal so I can demo an effects pedal. That's the utility of the OP1 to me, is that I can use it to demonstrate things when I'm at work. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I feel like Teenage Engineering enchants you with their beauty of their design. But is it going to actually be a workhorse for you when you're obsessed with hardware electronic music, like me? And I don't think it is. I don't think it is a workhorse. Or their design aesthetic is beautiful, but I don't think it's for me. What's for me is saving projects, copy and paste that works really well, envelopes, destinations, LFOs, filters, things that make it really easy for me to understand what's going on, and not this like toy aesthetic. I feel like I'm really knocking Teenage Engineering right now. I own a ton of their stuff, so I buy it. I'm not meaning to do that. I love Teenage Engineering. I'm just from somebody who wants to just play a lot of live hardware electronic music. It's not the stuff that I would use for that. That's the point I'm making. The point I'm making is I wouldn't use it in a live setting. All right. Fair enough. I think that's fair. There was some other point I was trying to make. Totally messed that up. Brain meltage, big time. Did you see the glitch shit on the Deluge? I did not see the glitch shit on the Deluge. I saw the I'm older than you. I love that. I wasn't aware you saw my channel. Of course. Look at what I do, dude. I sit on YouTube all day long. playing, like watching. All I do is obsess about hardware electronic music all day. Of course, I've seen your channel. Seen everybody's channels. I've seen the smallest channels. I watch all that shit. I watch everybody's stuff. I'm on everybody's YouTube channel, watching all your stuff all day long. Trust me. I am that guy. This stuff is for me. I do this because it's for me. I'm watching everything. Every little tidbit. Even the stuff people think sucks, I'm watching that stuff because I'm interested. I just want to see what people are doing. I think it's fun. It's more fun than just me doing all this stuff by myself. So, I don't know. I like watching a lot of music YouTube. I watch everyone's videos too. Good. You should. That's what we should be doing. That's what it's for. What's up, user friendly, my homie? That's the M8 though. The CM15 is quite compelling. The CM15 is quite compelling. Jordan's got a point. Of course Jordan has a point. Jordan's my boy. Okay, let's... We've been playing with the Polyend Play for a long time. I know I'm not amazing at the Polyend Play. This isn't the... You don't come to the EZBOT channel to become an expert at the Polyend Play when I don't... That's not what I do ever. This is literally my first time ever really digging into it for longer than an hour. So, and this has been about an hour and a half. So, but I think we learned a lot about it. I learned a lot about the Polyend Play so far in this live stream. I did learn that I really think the synth engines with the reverb and delay sound fantastic. And I think pairing it with a MIDI controller is definitely where it's at, and way more fun than using the little keyboard that they have on the side. If they didn't have the keyboard thing on the side, I'd be really upset. So I'm glad that they have that, but I think pairing it with the MIDI controller is good. We do know that it sounds very good. It's a really good sounding sample player. I quite like that. And I like the generative sequencing. I don't know how much more I'm going to be using it, because I still don't know where it fits into my personal, in the Matthew Pecora workflow for live hardware electronic music. Would I go play a show with it? At this stage, considering how comfortable I am with the gear that I already know really well, probably not. But I am open-minded to getting better at it, and then maybe getting to a place where I could do that. Actually, I can talk about that for a second. So I played a show last year at NAMM. Travarsi and a couple other artists invited me to go down and play, and I brought my Electron gear and I played a show, and it wasn't my best show. I always wish that like those would be my best shows. It wasn't my best show. But Polyend had their one of their main dudes. I don't know. I think he works for them, but really he makes a lot of content for them. I forget his name. You've seen his videos. If you follow any Polyend stuff, you've seen his stuff because it's always the best. It's always the best demonstrations of the Polyend gear. And like literally, I don't think there's anybody doing better demonstrations than this guy. It's the guy from Polyend, so it's pretty great. He played on a Polyend play. A couple people had Polyend plays. He played on a Polyend tracker, and a couple people played on Polyend plays at this live show, hardware exclusive, and they sounded awesome. They did a great job, and I was very impressed. I was like, I wasn't expecting to see Polyend plays out in the wild at live shows. I thought they were going to be more of like at-home instruments that people were just going to generate beats and maybe sample the beats they created on it into other instruments, which is my first thing I did with the Polyend Play when I first got it, was make drum beats, turn them into stems, bring them in the Octatrack, and chop them up in the Octatrack. But I did see people performing with Polyend Plays live, and they sounded great. And that's when I was like, because we make a lot of assumptions as consumers and as artists, and as performers, we have to make assumptions. It's just, that's natural, right? And I made an assumption about the Polyend Play at first that I was like, I didn't expect to see people taking it seriously as a hardware device. And then I went to the show, and there was people that did not work for Polyend that I respected as artists and live musicians playing with the Polyend Play. And I was like, oh, okay, foot in my mouth, or in my brain's mouth, since I didn't actually say that stuff out loud until just now. But I was impressed. I was impressed to see that, and they did a great job. So I think really it just comes down to how much energy and time are you willing to put into learning the device. I did see this cat's video today. So before we did the stream, this is what I do. Before I go on like a live stream or something, and I want to talk about something that I don't know very much about, I do a little research first. I don't just wing it and just make it up. I was walking my dog. I watched a couple more tutorials. I've already had the device. I was beta testing it. So like I already know how to use the Polyend Play, but I don't know everything. I don't know all the shortcuts. There's a lot I don't know, but I knew enough. I know enough that I could sit down and make music on it. There's no doubt. And So I'm walking my dog. I got my headphones in, and I'm watching tutorial content and other people's takes on it, what they like about it, what they don't like about it, and I come across on it. And not to knock any other YouTubers, and that's not really what I'm doing when I say this, but I watched his video on it, and he was so upset with the Polyend play. And I don't understand that. I don't understand the he was getting upset with a device. I don't know, or with the developers, I'm not sure, but he was very pissed off at the Polyend play. And I just think like we got to put good vibes out there. Although I do like the guy's channel. He does have he makes some good music, and he had some really good points. They were effective, but he was effective at making his point. But it was one of the videos I ended up watching before this stream, and I was like, wow, that put a really nasty taste in my mouth before I start my stream about the device. And I haven't come across any of the issues that he mentioned in his video. So I haven't had any bugs. I haven't had any errors. And he mentioned all these bugs and errors. So it seems to me like it's working just fine. I'm on the 1.1 firmware right now, and device is doing great. Synth engine sounds awesome. So I know there's controversy in regards to some of the ethics with Polyend and this device and Ben Jordan and all sorts of stuff, but who gives a shit about all that stuff? That stuff sucks. That's like the suck of the internet. You want to get sucked into that trash on the internet? I don't. I think that sucks. Like, if I want drama, I'll go on Facebook. I don't want to go on YouTube for drama. That's where drama sucks. Especially in the synth music space. This area, it's just like, what? What a waste of time. Anyway, I hate that shit, and I don't want any part of it. I'd rather just talk about what's cool. What do we actually like about something, you know? Man, it's just like every time I see that stuff, I'm just like, this is so stupid. What a waste of time. You know, what is the point? I do suppose that there are, you know, there's some things where there's some value in like letting a company know, but an email works. You're not talking to the company. You're talking to the population. An email works. It's private. I don't like, when I'm in a group setting and my friend does something that I think is inappropriate, I don't yell at him in front of everybody. I pull him aside and say, yo, that wasn't very cool. Is that not the normal etiquette for humanity? Isn't that what you want done for you? I don't know, man. I hate the hater stuff. I'm not into it. I don't know. Is that weird? Am I weird? Am I the weirdo? I really don't know. Boo, drama bad. Fucking oi. Porn funk. I like being dramatic. Well, user friendly. You're a special case. You get to be dramatic. I need you to be dramatic, because if you're not dramatic, you're not you. I need you. I need you to be exactly who you are. You're perfect just the way you are. You sweet little robot. Oh my god, is your username Tamberwolf? That's awesome. That thing sucks. After the loud and noisy people, for they are vexation to your spirit. I agree. I do love your name. Where are the drama llamas at? What's up, Mikey? Mikey's playing tonight. Have y'all heard Mikey play? Have you heard Mikey's music? He's playing at the Modbang event tonight. 7 o'clock. It's free. 4Bs in Seattle. Go there. You will be so impressed by Mikey's music. I promise you. You'll be like, holy cow. People are doing this stuff? How do they do it? It'll blow your mind. He's a badass. You have to hear Mikey play tonight. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a Game Boy Music. Yeah, no. Game Boy Music is dope. I've heard your Game Boy Music, and it's awesome. Good criticism. I do agree. I think that we can be a critique on a device in a positive way. I think I've been critiquing the Polyend play during this entire session. I critique the Octatrack. If you've ever taken a private lesson with me, I know like it's the whole population doesn't take private. I teach private lessons quite a bit on the Octatrack. I'll work with you on any piece of gear, even if I've never used it. I'll read the manual with you and help you. That's like what I like to do for work. That's what I do for work. Anyway, if you've done a lesson with me, I critique the crap out of this. It's one of my favorite things in the world. I mean, I will tell you what I think it should do in my mind from my perspective, but I will not attack you because you have a different perspective than me. And that's what we do with consumerism. We think we have the privilege or the right to publicly shame other people or other companies or whatever, because, you know, and you do have that right. That's, you know, that's the right of the internet, so to speak. But I don't think it means that you are right or it's the right thing to do. Like, but you know, criticism is one thing. I've been critiquing this, and there is a lot that I think it could use to improve on. I think it's confusing. For me, I get a little confused by it. Where am I? What am I looking at? I think like what actually could be really good in that regard with the Polyend play, I think if what menu I'm in, what I'm doing, I think like maybe there should be a message. Like, I know it says repeat type, repeat grid. Like maybe when I go to something, maybe it like, I don't know, like some sort of the screen changes color to let me know that's where I am. Because to me, these all look the same. They're just two blocks. And I would like to see like a graphic for attack and decay. Those kind of things are the kind of things I would critique about a device. I want to see these features because they would help me use it better. But the choice of what they did, like not having audio command, it being a sample player, that's their choice. And it's your choice whether or not you buy it, but you don't have to be a dick about it on the internet. I don't know why I went on this huge tangent about that. I didn't need to. I didn't need to do that. I just did it anyway. What are you gonna do? So now I'm part of the problem. All right, let's see. Okay, for one of our last examples that we'll do, let's see what it sounds like as an ambient generative music machine. Like let's just generate some like ambient stuff on here. I think it should do a good job of that, right? Let's get let's go to our synthesizer. Okay, the synth one is purple, samples is green, or blue, purple, whatever. The Vangelis patch is pretty good, but the ACD, the analog emulation engine, that sawtooth is fat. I think I need to turn off the scale mode. I think that was really annoying me. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Maybe this isn't the engine for that. Every once in a while I come across a patch and I'm just like, that patch sounds awesome. This will do a good job. Let's make all these long. Real long. And let's also make them move at a slower speed. Let's see how many synths. We are on which one? VAP? Okay. Let's give it... Oh, 4 notes polyphony is pretty good. Okay. 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 What? Okay, you know what? It's confusing to me. Maybe Ron, since Ron's here, you know probably, or Neuro, Alchemy, if Alchemy is still here. What about sustain, gate length? Like, I want this note to sustain for 4 steps, exactly 4 steps. Well, how do I do that? Is that not a thing? Can we not sustain it? Super long loading from what I've experienced. Is sustain on? Push in the knob and turn to synth? Yeah. Even if I mean, sustain's at 80%. That's not a real value for sustain. A percentage doesn't, what does that mean? I want 4 steps of sustain. Amp envelope synth parameters is sustain 100%. What does that mean? That doesn't seem to be doing it. I mean, that does sound good. That turned out pretty dope. I was enjoying that one quite a bit. Where are we at? We're at the 2-hour mark. I gotta call it. 2 hours long of us playing with the Polyend play, just talking about stuff, talking smack, sharing my opinion about other people sharing their opinions. What a stupid topic. Didn't need to do that, but whatever. Can't take it back now. Thanks everybody for joining. If you want to get your hands on this lovely sticker, which is an overlay for your Octatrack, as you can see, it fits perfectly. It's got the Seattle skyline on it, and then it says Ultimate for the Ultimate Effects template, which is a template I developed for the Electron Octatrack, which does all this stuff. A bunch of automated effects. I know we were going to make ambient, but then I got inspired by the sounds and wanted to make not ambient. So I said I was going to make ambient at the end, and we failed at that. But if you want to grab this sticker, you can visit modbang.com and pick one up, and I'll ship it out to you. I only made a few of them, so they're not incredibly cheap like you would expect a sticker. I mean, it's a really big sticker. They cost quite a bit to manufacture, and then I got to ship them out. So regardless, if you want them and you've already gotten into the performance templates that I designed on the Octatrack, this is where it's at. Alternatively, if you join my Patreon, or if you're already a member of the Patreon, you can download all the files and print these off yourself and just put it on your Octatrack. Right? That's cool. I have a version of them. They're made by Blake Kaiser, Blake's from Portland, Oregon. I have a version for the Techno performance template, a version for the Ultimate Effects template, a version for the 2FF template, a version for the hybrid template, and a version for performance template 2.3.5, and the Octatrack solo template. All of them look like this with these beautiful graphics, and they go right on your Octatrack like this. This is currently the only one that you can purchase where it's a sticker that I've had manufactured, a high quality print. The Techno performance template version of this sticker comes out sometime this week. It should be delivered to my house then, and then I'll ship them out to folks who want that. Alternatively, if you want to get any of the stands that I make, or make your analog 4 analog rhythm flat, you can pick up these stands, and this turns your analog rhythm flat, or analog 4 flat. Oh crap, we do have one last thing to do. Let's talk about, whoops, I dropped my phone. Let's talk about our sponsorship. I got so distracted by the Polyend play. I do have to do my sponsored ad here, so let's do that. We started off the stream with a sponsorship ad. Let's take a look at it. DistroKid is our sponsor. We love DistroKid. And this is what we're talking about. This is something, this is a little controversial because I'm not so sure how I would receive it, or if I would use it, because I don't like to text on my phone very much. I'm usually on the computer. But I think it's really cool, and I do know quite a few people who have been using this that I'm friends with. Artists that I respect use this, and you can opt in or out. But you can actually get a number. They'll give you their own phone number for you to text your fans. And so you can text your fans updates, they can text you back, and you respond to them not on your phone, but actually on DistroKid. So you put a phone number in, they give you a phone number, like that's my area code, that's the Seattle area code. And then you get to have these conversations with people who follow your music right through DistroKid. It's free with your DistroKid plan. DistroKid's incredibly cheap, so you might as well do it. This is like, I'm adverse to being on my phone and texting and doing all that, but I think that is a problem for me. I have trouble with that, partly because I have some neuropathy in my hands, but I think for every other person who doesn't have neuropathy in their hands, this is probably a great idea. If you have a loyal fan base, to keep them interested in your music, keep them engaged, and keep them up to date with what you have coming out. And this is kind of what it looks like right here when you actually do it. So they opt in to your thing, and then you get to have these, like, it looks like iOS text conversations right from your DistroKid website. And it's your own personal phone number that other artists and fans, or I'm sorry, artists, I guess, could be the case, but your fans can interact with you over text from their phone to your website. You're not getting text messages on your phone. So if you do this, they get the text messages, You don't get the text messages to your phone. You get them to the website. You go in and interact from the website. So it's not going to like interrupt your life or anything like that. It's actually a great feature. DistroKid continues to have really cool features and stuff for the price. Oh, I guess this isn't free. I lied. It's $12.99 a month to add this feature. There you go. So for $13 a month, you can reach out to all your fans. I think for artists who actually have a good number of fans already on their social media, or already have quite a few listeners on like Spotify and stuff, definitely a cool idea. If you don't, won't be as cool of an idea, because who will you be texting? I don't know. Anyhow, I don't mean to do my sponsorships at the end of my stream. I mean to do them in the middle of the stream, because that's kind of the idea of a sponsored stream. But I do think there's quite a few people still in the stream right now, so that worked out for me. I hope you guys are all doing well. I'm Matthew, aka EZBOT. We had a look at the Polyend Play Plus. I talked about what I think about it. You gave me some ideas what you think about it. We had some other YouTubers come in the chat, talk to us about what they thought about it. Some people who have made some tutorials. Very cool. Thank you to everybody who's made tutorials on your YouTube channels. I appreciate you. I watch your YouTube channels, and you have helped me learn the Polyend Play Plus before I went into this stream. So I very much appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out in the chat and talking to the viewers here and telling them things that I couldn't perhaps maybe tell them myself, because maybe I don't know. So very grateful to have you there. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you do it again. If you would like to support this channel, you can visit patreon.com/EZBOT. It's a very fun Patreon. I'm constantly providing new updates to my Octatrack templates, talking about Electron gear. That's kind of like my main focus. I also run a blog for Patchworks and run the Patchworks YouTube channel. So if you're interested in Patchworks, the synth shop, you should buy your stuff from them. Buy from any synth shop you want, but buy from Patchworks if you want. If you want to see a synthesizer shop in Seattle, remain here in Seattle. I think it's important that you support your local synthesizer store and don't purchase from other companies. If you can support local in all regards. If you're in California, support local. If you're in Seattle, support local. I think that's important. Support your local communities, support your local music shops. They need it. Music shops struggle. Music shops are on the struggle bus. And with the economy right now, we really need the help, all the help that we can get in the music world, because nobody wants to pay for music. Everybody wants to complain about music gear, and no one wants to buy local. They want to get the cheap stuff off Amazon as soon as they can. I'm one of those people too. I'm guilty of it as well. But it doesn't mean it's a good thing just because I'm guilty. Do as I say, not as I do, I guess. So anyway, I think that's important. But yeah, if you want to support this channel, visit patreon.com/EZBOT. If you want to pick up my performance templates, get your hands on the files for this lovely sticker and the 5 other templates that I have available there. There's a lot more templates. That's on the Patreon. If you want to just buy the template for yourself without having a subscription, you can visit coffee.com/EZBOT and just snag the template, throw it on your Octatrack, have a great time, go play some live shows. Nothing like turning your Octatrack into a super powerful performance mixer and standing out in the crowd because you have all the effects you could imagine, plus loopers. The kind of stuff that allows you to do is pretty incredible. I honestly will never, ever go back from having the Octatrack be the center of my performance, because there's just nothing out there that can compete with it in terms of how many different effects and what variation of effects that I have. There just isn't. Not stuff that I can immediately switch to and use a crossfader and gradually slide in and out of. There's just really powerful stuff in there. As soon as that comes out, when there is something else like that, be sure that I'm going to pick it up. There's no doubt. But right now, it ain't there. So you're welcome to pick up those templates from Patreon. Otherwise, if you just want to put a like on the stream here, leave a nice comment. It would be greatly appreciated by me. It helps the channel, helps people find my channel. Maybe it helps them find the templates, gets them interested in music, which is something we all need in our lives. I will see you next week. Hopefully I'm no longer sick next week. Be sure to come to the 4Bs. Very lastly, once again, take a look at this. Not this. This. Come to the 4Bs. Look at this lovely poster made by Mike Oriza, who's a fantastic local musician as well. Come on down to the 4Bs and check this out. It's going to be a great time. Free show, 7 o'clock. You can see the address right there, 4300 Leary Way Northwest. That is tonight, 21 and up. Be there. I will see you next week on this channel, where we're going to get back into working on some Electron stuff, because I want to keep working on the Octacosm template, my microcosm inspired performance template, not performance template, more like effects pedal for the Octatrack. So we'll dive into that next week. Take it easy. Y'all are great. Bye.